watching the Western Athletic Conference on ESPN. Happy New Year from Abilene, Texas. And women's college basketball on the docket today. It's DIX ST and Abilene Christian, a pair of 1-0 teams. And now welcome courtside, everybody. Happy New Year. Zach Carlisle along with Connor Mullins. Glad to have you with us. Well, both of these teams at 1-0, and if you like three-point shooting, this is the game for you.
Yeah, it's a couple of really good three-point shooting teams. ACU's like third in the nation in three-point shooting. Cameron Arise, one of the best three-point shooters on this team. And then you got some players behind him with Taylor Morgan and J.B. Banarans who really shoot the three ball very well. Coach Goodenough really emphasizes that with her team.
Yeah, we can't wait to watch some really good three-point shooters, and that leads us right in to our impact players. It's a pair of really talented scorers, Emily Isaacson and Cameron Miraz.
And Isaacson for Dixie State had 25 the other night against Tarleton in their WAC opener. Just a very good young player for this Dixie State team that doesn't have a ton of depth, but averaging 13 points per game this season, 38% from the three-point line. The Miraz for ACU shooting just as well.
Yeah, those are two really good three-point shooters, and these are two good teams that are coming off of wins to start WAC play. Dixie with their first ever WAC win, taking down Tarleton on December the 30th, and then Abilene Christian with a win Thursday over Utah Valley. ACU controls the opening tap, and away we go from Abilene, Texas. Starting five for Dixie State. You see Avery Papa, number 23, into the lineup, making her third start of the season. It's been a mix and match lineup throughout the course of the season so far. Sarah Griswold hasn't denied. It's going to stay with ACU, and there's their starting five. Miraz, a tremendous three-point shooter. Air Mills one here. There's Tatum Barber and Jamie Banarans, 22 and 20, are the grad transfers. Maddie Miller, the senior, and the redshirt junior, Sarah Griswold.
Yeah, Miraz there just missing that three to start this game. One of the best three-point shooters in the country. Gives Dixie State a chance here to maybe score in this opening possession and get this game rolling a little bit.
And these Trailblazers winning that game at Tarleton on Thursday, 57-49. They average about 66 points per game this year.
They're not a very deep team. We were talking about that before this game. You know, Isaacson played all 40 minutes in that opening WAC matchup on Thursday night. Just a quick turnaround for both teams.
First WAC weekend of the season. Maddie Miller shovels that one to Sarah Griswold for the game's first basket. Miller, the team leader in assists for ACU.
Griswold, just a good open look there. Goodenough talks about layups all the time. That's a good way to start this game for the Wildcats.
That's assist number 51 on the season for Miller. Dixie State with Macy Warren, you're going to see in the hands of Brianna Gillum right now, number 20, and then it is Warren in the corner, no good from three. This is a team that's going to take three-pointers. Two of these teams amongst the best at getting three-point looks.
Yeah, Gillen's actually the leading scorer for this Trailblazers squad, but he's had a little bit of a spurt recently, you know, hasn't been able to connect as much as she's wanted to as AC misses that one.
Well, Griswold had a look in the paint. Now a look for Gillum. And you mentioned it, her season, just shooting it about 23% from the three-point line this season, 9 makes, but still averaging 16 points per game.
Yeah, getting inside the paint is kind of what she likes to do. You know, shooting 47% from the field, that mid-range close-up game is kind of her expertise.
Barber for a three. The grad transfer from Georgia Southern as the game's first triple.
It's a good start for AC, you know, layup and a three. That's what you'd like to see for Coach Goodenough.
That is the staple of Coach Goodenough's Wildcats. The three, no good from Emily Isaacson, a redshirt sophomore at Perry, Utah. We highlighted her in the open.
Yeah, Isaacson, a really good rebounder, young player for this Trailblazers squad.
Oh, how did that not fall for Banarans? It rolls over to Miraz. She's 0 for 2. Put back Miller, no good. Boy, multiple chances for the Wildcats on that possession.
Yeah, tough defense there from the Trailblazers. Got a lucky break. Now they go back the other end.
Oh, tough take. And that is Brianna Gillum to get Dixie State on the board.
Yeah, defense to offense. That's what you like to see if you're Coach Gustin for the Trailblazers.
Backside pass is out of bounds and a turnover. Julie Goodenough in her 10th year with Abilene Christian. Was inducted into the Big Country Hall of Fame a couple of years ago. Took ACU to the 2019 NCAA tournament and has championships at almost every college basketball level. One of the greats in women's college hoops.
She's a Big Country legend in terms of women's hoops. Just a very storied head coach, second in wins in ACU history. Definitely made her mark on this program.
Gillum gonna kick it. It's a lot of drive and kick look for Dixie State so far. Chance for Maggie McCord, number 15, who's entered the game, and Barber taps that free out of bounds as they were looking for Gillum. On the other side, it is sixth-year head coach J.D. Gustin. 8 more wins than losses. He's been around the block. It was at Weber State. We've seen him at Westminster College and NAIA school, Rocky Mountain College. He graduated from Montana Western in his 6th year with a very young Division I program. Shot clock violation on the Trailblazers, and the ball heading back to Abilene Christian.
Yeah, you mentioned Coach Gustin. He knows the area really well in Utah. That's a pretty good hire for them. He's been there since that D2 level, kind of steady growth each year he's been with this program. That's just really good defense there on the other end from ACU.
Von Nairns is open on a little pick and pop. Barber, nice tap back. And a second chance for ACU. And now Miraz has a chance at a third look at a 3, and she hits this one. The team leader in triples.
Moves the ball really well. Got 17 assists per game, one of the best in the WAC.
There's a 3 to answer from Maggie McCord. Here we go. Now we're starting to see the 3-pointers be taken here from both sides.
Little rocky start to start this game, but now we're about 5 minutes into this first quarter, and both teams really settling in, figuring each other out.
Barber's open here. Von Nairns goes and gets an offensive rebound. It is ACU's 5th offensive board already here in this first quarter. But then out of bounds it goes.
Yeah, neither team's turned the ball over very much. You know, they're one of the better teams in the WAC in terms of turning the ball over. That's just unlucky there for ACU.
Dixie State averages 15 per game, ACU about 14. Both are top 30 in the country. 4 of the first 6 shots for the Trailblazers have come from 3. Another look here. This one's buried from Isaacson to even the game at 8.
Yeah, that's a good take by Isaacson there to even this game up, get your team a big bucket here in this first quarter.
Isaacson and McCord each have 3s. Miraz has already taken 4 of them in the quarter. She's connected on 1.
Trailblazers playing really good defense, not allowing any easy passes for ACU, forcing them to move the ball.
5 to shoot. Von Nairns, errant pass. So it's going to stay with ACU. They will have 3 to shoot it when we come back. Even ball game so far, ACU and Dixie State. Back in Abilene, Texas, it's an 8-8 start between Dixie State and Abilene Christian. Dixie State coming down to Abilene from St. George, Utah. And we talked about in this open here, Connor. I mean, we dissected this game. It ultimately came down to 3-point shooting. We've already seen 12 3-pointers shot between these two teams. Look at these numbers. Dixie State, 53% of their shots this year are 3-pointers. 50% of ACU's are 3-pointers, and then the total attempts. We're going to see a ton of them here today.
Yeah, we mentioned it during the break. You know, 12 3-point attempts in the first, not even 6 minutes of this first quarter. You know, they're on pace for 96 attempts by the end of this game with the way they're shooting a 3-ball.
Middleton was no good. Oh, and that shot clock ended up resetting after the Middleton miss. And now Bella Earl, a corner chance at a 3, and that's no good. There's attempt number 13 to get us started here today from the 3-point line. Macy Warren's got it, a freshman gonna try to take it, and that's no good. Now ACU will chance to maybe run. It's a current 6-0 run for Dixie State. Von Aaron's a wide open. Great ball movement.
Yeah, Von Aaron's, you know, one of the leaders of this team right now. Didn't really have a great start to the season because she was battling some injuries, but since those injuries, she's really played lights out for this ACU squad.
Talia Stimson was open initially, and now a corner three from Warren is offline. Macy Warren, her and her twin sister Maddie, both a part of this Trailblazer squad. Backside, Bella Earl, was open and could not convert, and Vance pulls down the board.
It's an ACU team with several newcomers, Earl being one of them, just unlucky there to miss that open layup.
Stimson's got it. A junior out of Paul, Idaho, corner three. Maggie McCord's got her second triple.
Trailblazers shooting the three ball pretty decently right now, better than ACU. 3 for 7 from the three-point line. ACU 3 for 9. It's gonna be a three-point party, as we mentioned.
When Dixie State hits double-digit threes, they are 5-0 this season. That is their number. 3 so far. Emma Middleton takes it on the left side.
It was a really good play by Middleton, you know, a champion at the D2 level with Lubbock Christian. Another transfer for these Wildcats. That's a good post-up move from Middleton.
Stimson gonna go. So we're under 2 to play in the first quarter. Brianna Gillum can do a little bit of everything. A lot of it has been interior this year, driving to the basket, and draws the foul here. It is the game's first foul. So we go back to the Von Aaron's triple, and she was wide open for ACU.
Yeah, Von Aaron's averaging 14 points a game for these Wildcats. And now at the free throw line, both teams shooting really well from the free throw line. Dixie State shooting 73% on the season. ACU about 78%, first and third in the WAC respectively.
And Gillum at the line, a 76% clip. It's our first free throws of the afternoon, and we are even again at 13. Back and forth we go. What could be a very entertaining ball game. Backside, well-designed play. Von Aaron's could not convert. Abilene Christian has had multiple looks in the paint and could not score.
They've gotten their looks on offense, good ball movement to get those open looks, just haven't been able to convert. Not shooting the ball particularly well early. 5 for 18 from the field. And the Trailblazers shooting 40%. You gotta like what you see if you're coach.
Oh, I thought they were gonna signal block at first. They decided to go charge. It's an offensive foul on Taya Sereni, the junior guard out of Canada.
That's a tough break if you're the Trailblazers, you know. It's a tied ball game here in this first quarter. Now you gotta reset on defense and hopefully get a turnover.
Corner three, Bella Earl.
That was a good look from Earl. Finally connects from the three-point line. They get 4 for 10 for ACU from the three-point line today.
Driving kick method. McCord's got a couple of threes early. Avery Papa gonna hand it.
There's a lot of players on the perimeter right now for the Trailblazers.
That's the lefty, Sereni, no good, and then a rebound and a foul's going the other direction.
There's interesting spacing from the Trailblazers on that possession. Almost every player on that three-point line, only one player down low. You wonder if that's part of Coach Gustin's philosophy or if just a different play there to maybe get something going on offense.
No shot clock. Final 20 seconds of quarter number 1.
I think Taylor Morgan's just gonna run this clock down, get an open look, and take this lead at the end of the first quarter.
5 seconds, Taylor Morgan, that one altered, it looked like. 2 seconds. Barber shovels one up there, and it's no good. 13 points, the second lowest for Dixie in a first quarter this year. We've played one in Abilene, Texas on ESPN. It is Abilene Christian 16 and Dixie State 13. Glad to have you here for WAC Hoops on ESPN. Zach Carlisle and Connor Mullins on January the 1st. I can't believe it's already the new year, as Dixie State shooting 36% from the floor so far.
Starting the new year with some basketball.
That's right. Those 13 points, 9 of them have come from the three-point line. So as expected, a high percentage from that spot. Another 3 here from Emily Isaacson is no good. She starts her game 1 for 4 from distance.
That's an ACU team that's already out-rebounding them 16-5 with 8 offensive boards. That's been the difference maker so far as ACU takes that 5-point lead here in this second quarter.
That was a nice backdoor there to Tatum Barber. Lays it in. ACU only shooting 32% from the floor so far. A little bit more inside than they have been relying on the 3. Another opportunity for Isaacson. 5 attempts so far. She's taken 5 of the 10 threes for Dixie. Substitution is Talia Sereni checks in.
It's been a lot of dribble drive action on offense for the Trailblazers to start this game. Looking for kickouts, for defensive breakdowns from ACU, and ACU's just not giving it to them.
5-point lead for Abilene Christian. Bon Aaron's mid-range game, and she has been off a little bit. 1 for 5 to start her afternoon. Bon Aaron's has been the superstar, making her, well, at least this season, making her 7th consecutive start after coming off the bench the first 6. She's been in double figures each of the last 9.
I think part of that has to do with fatigue. You know, they just played on Thursday night. Both teams are probably not well rested, maybe coming into this matchup. Could get interesting down the stretch.
Middleton turns, had a layup in the first quarter. Von Nerens fights through and scores, and a timeout called by Dixie State and J.D. Guston. We're 2 minutes into quarter number 2. Abilene Christian's got their largest lead early on. Abilene Christian with a 7-point lead. It is their largest of the second quarter and of the game so far. Not been in particular the shooting performance we would have thought, as the teams are combined just 31% from the floor. We'll see if they get going here in the second quarter.
Yeah, both teams a little bit sloppy here on offense early in this game. And you had to think that has to do with playing on Thursday night. A couple of new teams fresh to the WAC. You know, Dixie State played a couple games last year in the WAC, but just been a slow start for kind of both teams here in this matchup.
Tatum Barber open for 3 for Abilene Christian. The rebound hauled in, and here comes Macy Warren and company for Dixie State. Entry past Avery Papa, and then back out for the 3. That's a big one for Brianna Gillum. It hasn't been a dynamic three-point shooting season for her so far, but she buries one here.
Yeah, only 26% from the three-point line so far this season, but able to connect on that one and bring Dixie State back into this game a little bit, cut into that lead.
Middleton makes the catch inside and then is fouled. Fouled by Brooke Vance with a 24 in red, a sophomore out of Salem, Utah. Back to that corner 3 from Gillum, and that's just her 10th make from distance this year.
Vegas Camacho checks in for the Trailblazers. Maddie Miller in for the Wildcats. Miller, the preseason all-second team selection.
Earl got a tap on it, and she actually commits the foul, trying to pinball it back for a rebound. Goes over Vance, and that's a foul on Earl.
Yeah, you know, Earl's only a freshman, gotten a lot of minutes so far for this Wildcats squad. She's got a whole career ahead of her. She's going to be one of these really good players for the Wildcats in the future.
Warren will drive now. Sereni perimeter movement. They're not afraid to just keep it out here. Good take. But the finish from Seretti, no good.
You see that dribble drive action again. Get a clean look at the basket, just unable to connect. We've seen a lot of that so far today with both teams.
Middleton, right hand.
She's one of the lone paint presences for this Wildcats team. And when she gets down low, it's hard to guard her.
First meeting between Dixie State and Abilene, Christian.
It's over 1,000 miles away also from here in Abilene.
Offensive foul, it's heading the other way, and they're gonna call it on Macy Warren. Off the ball foul. And yeah, so you're talking about these two teams. Dixie State, a very recent Division I member. 2020, the 2021 season is when they joined Division I. They had only joined Division II in 2006, so they have been, were down in NAIA for a long time and then moved on up. They were in the RMAC of Division II. Then last year made the move to Division I and the WAC, and they didn't play much basketball. They were just 1-2. They played 3 total games last year and did not play a conference game. As Middleton misses here, everything got canceled for Dixie State a year ago. As Warren drives, and is no good. So they're in their 13th game. It's just good to have a season back for these Trailblazers. As Zamborski takes a 3 here offline.
It's a very young team for the Trailblazers also. You know, only one senior on this team, and Shania Davison, she rarely plays for the Trailblazers. But like you said, a quick rise to the Division I level, almost like ACU, you know, Division II in 2011. Then able to make an NCAA tournament in 2019. Might be something the Trailblazers want to mimic here in the future as a Division I program.
After the travel, it's Imborski for 3 for ACU. Paige Imborski, senior out of New York, was a dynamic three-point shooter when she was in her JUCO days. Second-year Wildcat.
She was second in the nation out of the JUCO level in three-point shooting.
Vegas Camacho, no good for 3. We have seen 27 three-point attempts so far. Here's 28. Imborski, no. Taylor Morgan goes for the board, and it's hauled in by Stimson. And now open again, Camacho.
Still no offensive rebounds up until that point for the Trailblazers.
Now Camacho floats one, no good. Dixie State is 4 for 13 from distance. ACU 5 of 16. Pass picked off. It's taken away by Gillum. Transition, gonna fight through to get a shot off. And a foul on Taylor Morgan, and it'll put Gillum at the line.
Yeah, that's a good defensive play from Gillum there to poke the ball away, drive the ball down the other end, and draw the foul. You don't always want to go for the and one, so just take the points.
Free throws here for Gillum, and this would, if it happens, trying to end a 3-minute scoring drought for these Trailblazers. Well, it continues. They've missed each of their last 5 field goals, but haven't scored since the 7:20 mark of the second quarter. And that finally ends with a free throw there.
It's a sigh of relief if you're Coach Gustin, you know, to finally get some points on the board after that drought. Wildcats just playing really fast-paced offense.
Miller misses a 3. How about the rebound from Emily Isaacson? Went to the ground to get it. Now a look for 3. And Von Aaron's rebounds for ACU.
That was a tough rebound from Isaacson. Didn't quite set her feet, didn't get settled before she took that shot. But a good look there again for the Trailblazers, just able to convert.
The threes aren't falling for either side, but the attempts are staying positive in very high volume. Von Aaron's nice finish with the left hand.
Yeah, Von Aaron's such a good paint presence as well for the Wildcats, even though she's more of a guard. That was just a really good move from the Wildcats to extend this lead to 10.
Maggie McCord hasn't had many opportunities since the first couple of threes she hit in the first quarter. Dixie down by 10, an opportunity. This is a big bucket, and if it goes, it's Gillen. That's who they're going to give it to when they need a shot to fall to get it back to single digits.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see. You want to see those leaders on this young team like Gillen to kind of get this team back into this matchup, dig into this lead a little bit. You know, she hasn't been the leading scorer in the past couple of games. It's been Isaacson, but so far tonight, she's got 10.
3-second call on ACU and a turnover on the Wildcats as a couple of players check back in for both sides. Dana Barber and Sarah Griswold return for Abilene Christian. Avery Papa back in for Dixie, a freshman out of St. George, Utah, the location of Dixie State University, soon to be called Utah Tech next year, the changing of their name for these Trailblazers. Backside pass and a foul here. More free throws coming.
Foul number 22, Tatum Barber, her first, team's third.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, but Gillen's got 10 of the 19 for the Trailblazers. She seems to be the only one converting on offense if you're Coach Gustin, so you gotta wonder if, you know, Warren's 0 for 4, McCord 2 for 2. It's not been a very good shooting performance so far. I think it's gonna be something Coach Gustin emphasizes at halftime.
Just free throw attempts. It's not something that happens very often for Dixie. That was just free throws number 11 and 12 on the season for Isaacson. Griswold turns, could not get over Papa, who defends it beautifully. Gillen again, she's taking it over for Dixie State, and a timeout called by Julie Goodenough of Abilene Christian.
Yeah, that's a great take from Gillen there. You know, cut this lead to 5. That's exactly what you want to do. If you're Gillen in this Trailblazers squad, that was just a strong transition take there.
Yeah, good finish. I mean, there's really nobody there to stop the ball as she does it. And yeah, you're going to see it. I mean, Gillen's doing it very efficiently, too. Just 4 out of 5 from the floor. And then there's Isaacson, who we highlighted in the open, who's just 1 for 7. Can't really get anything going. It feels like if Dixie wants to win these games, they have to have not only Gillen and not just Isaacson, they have to have both of them play well when they're playing games like this.
Yeah, not just even them. They got to have that depth, score. You know, the Wildcats, I think on Thursday, had about 4 players in double digits at the end of it. So for Dixie State, you got to get the ball moving a little bit more. Get some good ball movement, get some clean looks, which they have been doing, just haven't been able to convert so far.
Cameron Marozco looking for Griswold. Ball's tapped free.
And this is a big possession for the Trailblazers.
Turnover number 5 on Abilene Christian. Gillen.
Now the Wildcats only turned it over 13 times a game. That's the best in the WAC so far. So, I mean, you got to take advantage of these turnovers, and they do.
Avery Papa from the corner. It's a 2-point game after ACU had its largest lead at 27-17. It's an 8-0 run for Dixie State.
That's a big-time shot to even this game out to 2 now. Earl from the corner.
How about the response from Bella Earl?
Back and forth, you know, shot for shot.
Ends an 8-0 drought, or an 8-0 run rather, that took up a minute and a half. Warren with the take, couldn't finish. We're seeing both teams not be able to make shots inside. And Borski can shoot it from the outside. That's no good. Miraz is there to track down the offensive rebound. It's the 9th board for ACU.
Yeah, that was a long rebound from Miraz. But on the other end of the court, Trailblazers get a good look. Just unable to convert. Wildcats trying to deepen their lead.
Miraz is open. That's another one. Back-to-back triples for Earl and Miraz as ACU immediately goes back up 8.
Yeah, one of the best in the nation in terms of three-pointers. And in the WAC, you know, you got Taylor Morgan, Benarens, and Miraz at first. Top 3 in the WAC in three-point percentage. So, I mean, you got to be able to defend the three-point line a little bit better if you're the Trailblazers.
Final seconds of this first half. Gillen gets one up, no good, and that takes us into the intermission. ACU closes it with back-to-back triples and lead it by 8. We've got halftime on ESPN from Abilene, Texas, coming up. Half is moments away at the Teague Center here in Abilene, Texas, as we say, welcome courtside, everybody. Zach Carlisle along with Connor Mullins. Again, Happy New Year, everybody. Hope you're enjoying your holidays. And I tell you what, ACU, Dixie, I mean, this game's kind of been back and forth a little bit here, right? So Dixie State comes and makes a run, an 8-0 run here towards the end of the half. Abilene Christian back-to-back threes to go back up by 8 points. Those were big shots at the end of the second quarter.
Yeah, big-time shots from the Trailblazers. You know, they've been outscoring opponents in the second quarter so far this season, 190 to 185. But ACU outscoring their opponents as well. So it's really back and forth matchup so far. We saw that in the second quarter. Just really dominant performance on the glass from the Wildcats. You know, Banarans with 7, Miller with 6, continuing their dominance on the glass, 27 to 13, out rebounding into halftime.
Well, and we knew we'd see some three-point shooting, right? So there's been 35 of those attempts from both teams in the first half. The shooting numbers in terms of percentage hasn't been in particular very high, but when they are falling, they seem to come in bunches.
Yeah, both teams shooting the three ball, not as much as you would think, you know, not as great as you would think they would, but Mirage there, you know, she's been great so far in this game from the three-point line. The Trailblazers been getting open looks, you know, as we see there from the three-point line, but just unable to convert on a couple of those possessions. I think that's what Coach Gustin's going to be talking to those players about at halftime, is converting once you get to the offensive end and you get those open looks.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how this kind of goes into the second half here, because you got this Dixie State team that is shooting it at 30%, ACU shooting 35%. What do you want to see from both sides here in the second half?
I think for the Trailblazers, you got to move the ball a little bit more. They only had about 5 assists in that first half compared to ACU's 11. You got to move the ball a little bit more, not just let it be the Brianna Gillen show. She's had a great game so far. Just need to be able to move the ball a little bit more, get Isaacson going. She didn't play very well in that first half either. Only 1 for 7 from the field. But for the Wildcats, just continue to play your game, you know, to get those three-pointers, get those layups, get those open looks, continue to dominate on the glass. You know, it's going to be an interesting second half to see if Dixie State can kind of pull away in this third quarter.
ACU's got it to open quarter number 3. And Cameron Miraz has that denied. Avery Papa sends it back towards the locker rooms. My goodness.
It's a big-time start for the Trailblazers. That swings the momentum a little bit. As you see here, just good kick out. Miraz standing in her spot. Just great play from Papa to kind of bring it down, swing that momentum here at the beginning of this third quarter.
That 6'2" freshman with long arms. Cameron Miraz only standing at 5'7". Abilene Christian with a 16-13 lead in the first quarter, outscoring Dixie State 17-12 in the second. And Maddie Miller gets the game started in the third with a triple.
It's the same spot Miraz was in, you know, just reset your offense, get that open look, move the ball. That's what they've been doing all game. Dixie State hasn't really been able to contain it.
Offensive foul, it's heading the other direction. Off of the ball, and a foul's on Avery Papa, who had the block on the defensive end. Now called for that defensive foul. Here is Miller in the corner. It's her first points of the game.
That's a great find by Barber there, just to stop, make the overhead pass to Miller in that corner. Just a knockdown 3 from the preseason All-WAC second team selection.
Into the paint, Sarah Griswold, first touch of the third, that converts. They kind of call her the steady Eddie in the paint. She just is always in the right place around the basketball.
Yeah, she's a very good paint presence along with Emma Middleton for these Wildcats. Just a good post-up move there from Griswold as the Trailblazers try to get something going here, maybe with Gillen.
Here's Macy Warren driving. Stimson can kick it. It is Warren. No, charge first. Miller took the charge. They had an open look for a three, but it was set up with the offensive foul.
Wow, that's a big-time play by Miller just to take the charge and force another turnover. To teams that don't turn the ball over very much, you know, now the Trailblazers have 6 in this game. Wildcats have 5, pretty even so far.
Felt like the feet were set there, too, for Miller. A good defensive play. Pass tipped and picked off by Avery Papa. So a steal for Dixie State. They need a basket at this end, down 13. Largest lead for Abilene Christian. A chance to add to it now.
You know, Papa's had some good defensive stops here early in this second half. More of a defensive presence. Just can't turn that defense into offense.
Barber's open. Von Aaron's another rebound. She's coming off of a double-double, and she's on her way to another one. Von Aaron's with 7 points and 9 boards.
And she had 11 the night before that, just really good on the glass.
Miraz with 4 to shoot it. Gonna float one. Oh, and Griswold's there for an offensive rebound. I don't know how she came up with it.
I mean, that's been the story so far, as ACU has 11 offensive rebounds now.
Von Aaron's
only have 1.
Multiple chances there, but Dixie fortunate to come away with a stop. They'll kick it. It's Papa for 3. Yes.
That's exactly what you needed if you're the Trailblazers. Avery Papa making plays early in the second half.
A 10-point game. Now Papa is 2 for 2 from the floor. Both are threes.
Pretty efficient night for her so far, also adding 5 rebounds and an assist to that stat sheet.
Griswold high post, mid-range game, as good as it gets from the post position, with her able to square up to the basket. Warren gonna take. .15 to shoot it. Sereni for 3. Dixie State now 6 of 16 from 6 of 17 from the three-point line.
You know, Warren and Sereni for the Trailblazers are 0 for 10 combined in this game.
Von Aaron's bottoms up for number 20. She's into double figures again, make it 10 straight games.
Just a big-time shot to extend this lead even further. You know, ACU's not always a great third-quarter team, but they've really shown it so far.
A drive on the take, and another offensive foul. Oh, there's been a million of them. Stimson called for the charge.
I think that's her second or third charge just in this quarter alone. It's going to be frustrating for Stimson.
And number 3, Ella Earl.
Tatum Barber got there. Ooh.
It's close.
Was she moving? I don't know.
It's close.
It's heading this way, and it will stay with ACU after the ball's tapped out of bounds by Warren. A 13-point Abilene Christian lead. It is their largest of the afternoon.
And also, I feel like this Dixie State team has left a lot to be desired this season. You know, only beating one Division I team coming again on Thursday.
Travel on Emma Middleton as they were able to get it to her in the paint.
But don't get me wrong, Dixie State has lost to some really good Division I programs.
Yeah, playing teams like Oregon and Kansas City and Utah State and Colorado, Air Force. That's as good of a non-con as you can put together. Gillen drives, takes it on the defender, and will draw the foul.
They were definitely battle-tested in non-conference. Just a little bit disappointing to be if you're a Trailblazers fan. You know, maybe not come. You want to come away with one of those games if you're Coach Gustin. Maybe have a chance. Just unable to. But definitely battle-tested. That might help them out in this conference. Predicted to finish 12th out of 13 at the beginning of the season.
Gillen at the line.
So you see Coach Gustin there. It's got to be probably frustrated right now, I'm sure, out of that halftime break.
Gillen has her first points of the third quarter after putting together 12 points in the first half. It is a game high, 14. Miller takes on defenders. Middleton.
That was a good pass from the Wildcats. Just unable to convert. Gives Dixie State a chance to cut into this lead a little bit. A lot of perimeter movement.
Brooke Vance for 3. That's her first shot attempt of the game.
Averaging about 3 points per game this season.
Miller. Boy, that was a nice pass from Bella Earl. Unable to finish it off.
The Wildcats have some really good facilitators on offense. Their guard depth is very good. It's hard to defend.
Corner 3, Warren.
Basket number 2, Macy.
Triple number 7 for Dixie State.
Warren's now 1 for 7 in this game. Finally gets her first bucket deep into this third quarter.
19 of the 32 shot attempts are 3-pointers for Dixie. Bon Aarons is fouled, and she's going to shoot 2 when we come back. Abilene Christian with an 8-point lead, middle of the third quarter. Bon Aarons bottoms up. That's been how many 3-pointers we've seen so far in the ball game. ACU is 9 for 26. And Dixie State is 7 out of 19. Jamie Bon Aarons is at the line for what is proving to be historical. This is the first free throw attempts of the game for Abilene Christian. And they're able to hit a couple of them. And this is now, with the research, the 4th time this year ACU did not attempt a free throw in the first half of a game. I don't know what the stat means, but it's a unique one.
It's crazy, especially in this modern era of basketball. There's so many fouls in any college basketball game. You know, Bonaire's an 83% free throw shooter, knocks down both.
10-point lead for Abilene Christian. Oh, a little bobble there from Gillen that keeps her footing. Is able to at least get a shot away. She's 4 for 7 from the floor. Katie Harina for Abilene Christian, number 1 in white. A sophomore out of Liberal, Kansas, into the game for the first time. Barber open, wonderful pass.
What a find from Earl. Just great vision, only a freshman. To make that kind of pass is great.
Oh, Barber got her hand in there for a steal, but then commits the foul. It was a little bit of a late whistle, but they are gonna give the foul to Barber. How about the pass again from Earl?
Man, what a find. High school McDonald's All-American nominee. I think it was honorable mention out of high school. That's just a great find from Earl there.
Over 1,300 points, over 500 rebounds, over 250 assists, over 200 steals, over 100 blocks in her time at Denton Guyer High School. One of the more decorated players coming out of the high school ranks.
She's got a lot of roots in ACU.
Drive from Warren, no. Earl is there. It is a tie up, and the arrow is going to stay with Dixie State.
You know, ACU was in a scoring drought prior to this break. Or 1 for 7 from the field. Dixie State unable to convert on the next couple possessions to maybe cut into this lead here at the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, Abilene Christian back-to-back. 4 straight points. Warren fakes, jumper, got it.
That was a good move from Warren there to kind of stifle the run ACU was on.
A 2-point attempt. Seeing one of those today.
It's one of the few.
Bon Aarons is posting up. Leads the way with 12 for Abilene Christian. Barber will take it. Extra pass. Miraz, a 50% 3-point shooter. Bon Aarons, a good one too. Hits one again.
That was great ball movement. One of the better possessions of this game for the Wildcats. Really starting to heat up now at the end of this third quarter.
Her third triple, a 46% 3-point shooter. And that is the third triple of the game for Maggie McCord.
Yeah,
right back to 10.
She's 3 for 3 so far in this game. Really efficient 16 minutes, 9 points. I think that was the first time this season on that ACU possession that Miraz passed that shot up in that corner.
Harina takes on a defender. Miraz open, not passing that up. It's no good. A fresh 20. And now Harina. That's good. Katie Harina buries a three-pointer. It's just her 5th of the year.
You know, Harina, one of the more role players of this Wildcats team, but still very efficient when she's on the floor. Only plays about 7 minutes a game. That's a good look there from Harina.
A minute and a half in the third. ACU matching its largest lead at 13. Blocking foul here as Miraz hits the deck. Her and Warren going one-on-one.
They weren't able to get that one to go the other way this time, as you saw at the beginning of this third quarter, a couple possessions that were a little controversial.
You see Miraz take a seat and Morgan enter the game for Abilene Christian. Isaacson, a slow game for Dixie State, number 22 in red. She's got 4 points on 1 out of 7 shooting. Warren takes it and finishes.
Warren really starting to come to life here in this third quarter. 5 points in the last couple minutes. And Isaacson, you know, she had such a great performance against Tarleton. You know, 25 points, 3 blocks, 9 rebounds in all 40 minutes. Just hasn't been her usual self today.
Barber posting up, might have rushed her attempt there and was well deep. 45 seconds to go in the third. Dixie State a chance to cut it closer.
I was about to say, a big chance for Trailblazers to cut into this lead.
It's a 3 from Isaacson. Well, we just said it. She's only been 1 of 7. That's her second 3 to fall, and a big one at that.
Yeah, make that 7 of her 8 shots have been from the three-point line. She lives and dies by that 3.
High-low, ball's tapped free. Dixie State a steal. The Trailblazers, oh, now it is, are they calling a jump ball? And the arrow goes back to Abilene Christian, so the Wildcats now with 13 ticks can hold for 1 here to end the third.
Yeah, it's a smart play by Benarenz. You know, she's played 6 years, she's in her 6th year of college basketball. That's just a veteran play from Benarenz to get the possession back.
13 seconds to go. They sub in Paige Borski, a dynamic three-point shooter. She'll drive and go with the left hand. No. 3 seconds. Warren, can they get one off? They're going to lob one, and Isaacson unable to get much on it. It takes us to the end of 3. It's WAC basketball on ESPN. 51-43, Abilene Christian. Start of quarter number 4. There's the ball. 51-43, Abilene Christian in front of Dixie State. Zach Carlisle, Connor Mullins having a blast on ESPN WAC women's basketball. Glad to have you with us. And yeah, ACU up by 8. They've pushed it to as much as 13. Dixie State keeps them in this thing. The three-point shooting has really kept them alive so far. We've seen a ton of threes as expected.
Yeah, it's been like 49 threes in this game so far. Dixie State not out of it yet, though. It's going to be a really important stretch in this fourth quarter. To cut into this 8-point lead, they haven't been able to do so, but Gillen gets it going at the start of this quarter.
Why not? You know, she had 12 points in the first half, just 4 here in the second half so far, but it cuts it to 6. Abilene Christian, well, the teams are only combined 37% shooting total from the floor. Griswold up and under, a nice answer to start the fourth of the opening possession for ECU.
Yeah, we're seeing shot for shot. Matching each other, matching the intensity.
Warren drive and kick. It's Isaacson. Oh boy, she was having a rough shooting start to the game. She's hit back-to-back threes here at the late third and early fourth. It's back to 5.
She's starting to heat up. You know, that's not what you want if you're coach good enough in this Wildcat squad. You know, she had such a great performance at Tarleton, and now she's starting to heat up.
Barber, oh, that's going to turn into a jump ball. Frustration for Tatum Barber. And I think it might have been a tie-up on her way towards the basket there. They'll stay with Abilene Christian, 16 to shoot it.
It's an interesting call. Oh, that's who you want if you're
Oh,
Aarons. Yeah.
Von Aarons, she's got 17 now for ECU.
Seems like every time she puts up double digits, ECU wins. You know, she's very dominant, been very consistent recently.
Maggie McCord. And now Papa. Oh, and now Barber picks her pocket. Tatum Barber.
No dunk, but I'll take it. Good layup for the Wildcats to extend this lead even further.
Barber's defense has been so big this year, the team leader in steals. Isaacson might have forced a three pretty early in the shot clock in a 9-point game.
Yeah, Augustin's not going to be happy with that shot from Isaacson. You know, you got to wait, be patient. You still got 8 minutes to play, only a 9-point lead, single-digit game. Just take your time, set your feet, and then take the shot.
10 to shoot it, Bon Aarons. Miller is open. Look at Bon Aarons just dominate the game. A double-double again.
Had 11 rebounds today, just another really good rebounding performance from her. 3 straight double-digit rebounding games. She takes a 3. Oh, not quite.
Offensive rebound again. Miller's the one who tracks it down.
I think if she had made that 3, it would have forced a timeout for the Trailblazers.
Aarons and one! What a find and what a finish.
Coach Gustin's calling for a timeout after this free throw. And he's going to take it now.
Leads up to 11. Jamie Bon.
Played, but you know, wasn't producing as much as she is now. Been very consistent throughout this season. Just a really good score in her 6th basketball season.
And she's got a 20-point game now after the 3-point play. And the and one to push the lead back to 12. And now J.D. Gustin and his Dixie State Trailblazers looking for some answers in the game's final 7 minutes. Came up with the win Thursday at Tarleton. Here's Warren for 3.
Talk about Bon Aarons again. You know, she had 16 in that 40-point loss to Kansas State for the Wildcats. That's when she started to really kind of break out. She's been very consistent since that game.
She's been in the starting lineup, too. Starting with the Nichols game on December the 4th.
Yeah.
So the last month plus, it's been her in the starting 5. Changed things for ACU. Tried to get it to Bon Aarons, and it's picked off by Gillen. Oh, look at Barber. Boy, Barber's been so good on the defensive side.
End to end.
The starting 5 for ACU on the floor.
ACU's on a 7-0 run over the last 2 minutes, scoring drought for the Trailblazers.
Griswold,
they extend that run.
Got the finish, it rolled home. It's a 9-0 run in 2.5 minutes for ACU. This game was 53-48. Warren's fouled. Trying to take on Barber. It's called for her 3rd personal.
Foul number 22, Tatum Barber, her 3rd.
And you'll take that if you're Coach Gustin just to reset your offense. Still got 20 seconds in this shot clock. Maybe give the ball to Gillen. She's had a really good performance, but Cord's had a great game. Isaacson's starting to heat up, so you're not out of it yet.
Under 6 to go. Important couple minutes here for Dixie to try to get back in it. Down 14. 3-point attempt from McCord.
That was a big shot from McCord, just unlucky to convert. Would have made an 11-point game. Gave him a chance.
Earl posting up. Takes on the defender and will shoot 2.
Earl is really fun to watch. I mean, down low, 3-point line, finding players. He's got a lot of tools as a player to be a really special player for this Wildcats team.
2 shots for the Wildcats. Number 3.
Earl, the freshman out of Corinth, Texas. To the line for a couple. ACU is 3 for 3 today at the foul line. We've only seen 11 free throws in the game combined.
Yeah, one of the better 3-point shooting teams in the WAC and in the nation. But Dixie State's almost just as good from the 3-point line, or free throw line.
Earl hits 1 out of 2. We've only seen 18 total fouls called in the game as well.
It's a little low compared to some other games, but a big turnover there for the Wildcats.
Looks like Morgan and Bonaren's combined for the takeaway. Griswold, awkward catch. Might have been blocked from behind by Papa. Largest lead for ACU is right now with 15 points.
See the full court press from ACU. Morgan tracking all the way down the court.
Ball fake from Brooke Vance. Papa will put it on the deck. 5 to shoot it. Vance a drive again. Charge. Griswold took it for ACU. Timeout on the floor. Abilene Christian up 15. Next 4 games for Abilene Christian. You should take a look at this upcoming schedule. Boy, it's a gauntlet. At SFA, at Sam Houston, and then home games with Grand Canyon and New Mexico State as new members of the Western Athletic Conference. That's Katie Harina for 3. It's her second triple. It is a 13-0 run as ACU tries to bury Dixie State here.
Yeah, we saw that upcoming schedule for the Wildcats. That's a buzzsaw. You know, SFA, one of the best programs, not just in the WAC, but in the nation. You know, they're very well respected. It's going to be a really tough upcoming schedule for the Wildcats, for the best teams in the WAC.
Taylor Morgan thought she had a tie-up. Instead, she's called for the foul. But a lead of 18 points for ACU as they look to start 2-0 in WAC play.
There's been 4 turnovers in the last 5 minutes for the Trailblazers. I think that's what's been, you know, the difference maker in this fourth quarter.
Papa
but a big time
has 3 triples. Dixie State is undefeated when they hit double-digit threes. They've got 11 today, but they're still down 15 with 4 minutes left. That streak may come to a close as Barber, no good on that 3, and Gillen taking on the defender and a foul call.
Trailblazers have shot pretty well from the three-point line. It's been down low. Those open layups, those mid-range shots, they've only had 6 of them in this game.
They're 6 of 18 for the rest of their shooting. That's in the paint. That'll add to that total. Avery Papa back-to-back buckets, 5 in a row to cut it back to 13. They're not done yet with 3.5.
Yeah, Papa's really come to life here in this second half with 11 on 4-for-4 shooting.
By far a career high. Her previous career best was 5. Barber, 3, no. Griswold, a rebound. That is the 16th offensive rebound for Abilene Christian. Harina draws a foul on McCord.
You know, this could be a good time for Coach Goodenough to maybe rotate through some of her depth in the lineup, maybe get some more role players, some key minutes in these last few seconds. But we see Maddie Miller check in. Not necessarily sure if she wants to do that just yet.
Yeah, I don't know if it's, I mean, it's only 13 for with a dangerous three-point shooting team.
Rather safe than sorry.
These games mean just so much. Backdoor cut. Morgan finds Griswold. That is a great 3-man game right there for ACU.
Yeah, that was good defense from the Trailblazers, just better offense from the Wildcats. Another good find from Earl there to find Griswold, get the easy layup.
Oh, Talia Stimson might have stumbled and then threw it away. Big turnover for Dixie State. That is their 13th. How about this play? Pass, pass, bucket.
Yeah, that's just a really good offensive possession for the Wildcats. Here toward the end of this game, just a really sound ball movement to find that layup.
We saw Stimson take a seat. 15-point ball game, 2.5 left.
13 turnovers for the Trailblazers, only 9 for the Wildcats.
Morgan buries one. That's her first points of the game to push it back to 18.
Wildcats really pulling away in this fourth quarter, 20-10 run so far.
Papa nearly walked with it. McCord has 3 triples today, blocked away. Middleton taking it from Warren. Barber mid-range, well deep. Tatum Barber, 4 for 12 shooting.
It's not her best shooting day. Oh, that's a big travel.
Oh, Isaacson, I thought was gonna pull the 3. Here's the next 4 for Dixie State. They're heading back home for the next 3. They get their travel partner, Utah Valley, next Saturday. 3 o'clock Mountain Time. California Baptist at home with Seattle U. That'll be a tough one. California Baptist, the reigning regular season and tournament champs in the WAC, before they head to Lamar on January the 20th. All games throughout the year on ESPN Plus. Here is Middleton, no good.
I think it's going to be big for Coach Gustin and this program to get back home, maybe settle in a little bit into WAC play. But Cal Baptist, that's a really tough task. One of the, if not one of the best teams in the WAC, if not the best team in the WAC.
Nikhil Kramer trying to get it to Bella Earl, and it's poked free. Chance at a 3 from Isaacson, who is 3 of 11 today shooting. 2 for 10 from distance.
I think the key coming into this game, if you're Coach Goodenough, is to kind of limit Isaacson. You know, she had 25 out of their 59 against Charlton in that win. So, I mean, they've really shut her down today, only 3 for 11 shooting.
Earl denied by Isaacson. Corner 3, McCord, no. 40 seconds left as ACU is going to get to 10-3. It's about to be a 3-game winning streak for these Wildcats after losing 2 in a row. ACU looks like they might be a player here in this Western Athletic Conference.
Yeah, you know, they dropped a couple of games that, you know, you kind of want back, you know, to Oral Roberts, Northern Colorado. But, man, recently they've looked really good. Could be a really fun team to watch here in WAC play. You know, predicted to finish 5th prior to this season. But if you're Dixie State, just got to reset, get back home. Maybe get yourself a chance in some of those games. Coach Goodenough going to be very happy. Starting off conference play 2-0.
And Dixie State will go to 1-1. In league play, they will drop to 5-8 overall. ACU with their 10th win of the year, 2-0 in the WAC. To get things started, it's a final score from the Teague Center, 71-53, Abilene Christian over Dixie State. And we say thanks for watching. This has been a presentation of the Western Athletic Conference on ESPN. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. Until next time, Zach Carlisle, Connor Mullins, the whole crew led by Hutton Harris, Will King, saying so long. Happy New Year from Abilene, Texas.